that it's not causing super amount of lag when I move around and do stuff. Okay, so as you know, everybody, we're going to be doing Santa's sleigh. Don't worry about not saying anything. Feel free to chat with me if you have any questions or have some ideas. This is like totally meant to be goofy and fun. So what I normally do when I put things together, like if I'm tinkering, putting together a bunch of pieces to make something else into a group, I like to have a pure black background. So, and to do that quickly, you just go right over to texture, go to color, pick that black color, make sure it's set to BG, that's the default layer, and then go over to your thing like this. Let's just say that I wanted to make it a color, but let's do this, press enter, and it fills your whole screen up, okay? I'm doing it with black because it's just easier to see all the stamp pieces and see how they look, and then I can paint a texture below. So the first part will be trying to assemble some stamps to make Santa's sleigh. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in here. For those of you who aren't familiar with the tool, mouse scroll wheel zooms in and out. Hold down spacebar to pan, so that way you can move the canvas around. Okay, those are much quicker, much easier than trying to zoom in over here to this corner and then zoom out and then zoom in this corner. Super annoying. Don't do that. Make it easier for yourself. After that, we're going to go over to the object menu or stamp tool. That's the O key. Open it up. Open up that catalog F key, and you'll see all the stamps in here. And we're going to use Fantasy Battle Map 2.0. And the way I'm going to make this sleigh is by putting a series of seats together, and I'm going to use some of the train stuff. So when I think of Santa's sleigh, I think of like a reddish kind of color sleigh. I think of, you know, 2 seats, some room in the back for, you know, for him to kidnap children. I mean, to put all the toys in the back, and then we're also going to use train pieces. I thought that these train pieces work really, really well, and to make sure it's a layer below. It's always important to like keep track of your layers. So I'm just going to copy and paste these, put them here like this. This is kind of the general shape of the sleigh that we have. Okay, I'm also going to put these on here. These go well. And then I'm not going to worry about this weird looking train setup in the front. We're going to put something else there to cover it up. We want some leg room for Santa, because unless Santa's super short, not that there's anything wrong with being short, but you know, got to give Santa a little bit of leg room. So we'll give Santa some leg room. Maybe push this back a little bit. Okay, so there's some room for Santa to sit down there. I'm not gonna make Santa, but just imagine that Santa's there. Okay, you all have vivid imaginations. And then one thing, whenever I stack items like this, I like to make the stamps below darker than the stamps that are on top. So these are already at your advanced settings. It's already set at your default 100 brightness. So I just take all these train pieces and just drop the brightness down a little bit, and I do that because then the seats pop out a little bit more, and it's just a little depth. It's kind of a depth trick that I use, and I know a lot of other users do that as well. Like when you're stacking some barrels, like in a triangle, 2 at the bottom and 1 on the top, the 2 barrels at the bottom are going to be darker, and the barrel on top will be a little bit brighter. It's kind of a depth kind of trick that we use. And feel free to ask any questions if you have any, or feel free to ask Cheryl as well. So Cheryl is a mentor and always gives the best advice. Trust me, and I rely on her advice as well, just so you know. So now we're going to try to hide these train connectors right here for connecting the cars, and we don't want that. So instead I'm going to use this rug to make it look like it's a rolled up. If you've ever seen a sleigh, it kind of has like a curvature on the front, and I think just kind of putting this on here will kind of create that sense of curvature. At least I think so. I wonder if there's just a pure red rug. Maybe that would work better. Let me put it on top of each other and just see how this works. I think the pure rug instead of the color is better, in just my opinion. We'll do it like this. Okay, so you have 2 rugs to represent the front and the back part where it curves up. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Santa's sleigh. I looked at a couple before I started this. And also this red matches in with this kind of red right here, so it looks okay. We'll add more stuff around the edge to kind of hide the connection here. That's the big trick. You notice that this rug doesn't look like it really connects to it. You'll have to add some things over it to get everything to look right. And that's kind of the trick when you're tinkering with stamps and you're putting things together. you know, you're just kind of exploring and putting things together. Also, I want to mention that when you're putting together things like this, don't do it at the smallest size like this. When you're working on something, make it really, really big so that way it's easier to edit. Okay, that's kind of a pro tip. So make it nice and big. This is not the end size, so it will be a little bit smaller, but it's easier to edit and to move the items around and select items when it's big and enlarged like that. So much easier. Okay, so we've done that part, and then we want to put some kind of railing around the edge of it to finish off that part. And there's like a couple of things that we could do to do that. There's a bunch of wall pieces that might look good. Like I do like this elven. There's an elven set here somewhere. Let me try elves real quick. Nope. Let me type in elves real quick. Or elf. Maybe it'll show up. This stuff right here, this intertwined wall, like I kind of want to make the Santa sleigh to be kind of special. You know what I mean? It's going to look interesting and unique. And this is like that kind of garnishment that you use to kind of make it look good. And it's also going to hide our goofiness at the end of each part of the sleigh, the front and the back. And so I'm just going to basically piece a bunch together like this, put one here, another one like this. I'll turn it around. Oopsie, don't want to select that. My bad. Hold on a second, I goofed it. There we go, like that. Same thing, do the thing over here. And then put another one going across like this. And this will, like I said, this will kind of hide that strange connection right there. That's why I put it there. And then I'm gonna flip this so it's not exactly the same. There's a couple other options too, so we can flip like this. So I wanna make sure it looks exactly the same as this. So flip it around like this, and then copy and paste these together like this. Okay, and I'm also gonna turn off the shadows for everything because we'll play with shadows last. We haven't really decided where everything is yet. Okay, let's put that there. Okay, I'm gonna zoom it down because now we're gonna add the next part, which is going to be the sled part, the skids, I think they're called. I can't remember. And I don't know that some people here might know about this really nice stamp set that's actually kind of hard to find. Maybe it's because of the way it's written, but there's something called plumbing. And it's these really nice brass plumbing pieces. When you go to type in pipe, you'll notice that it doesn't show up. You have these larger, thicker pipes in the pipe organ here. So in the future, if you're looking for thinner, smaller pipes, just type in plumb for plumbing. And then here are these nice brass plumbing pieces. I use these all the time for so much stuff, so they work really well. And what we want to do is have it to where the skids are facing out. Now you can't see the skids if they're directly below. So I might go with more of a helicopter kind of thing where the skids kind of go out to the side and then you can see them even if you're looking straight down. Same thing here. Like if I was just to put the skids like right here underneath, you wouldn't really know what it is, but by putting the skid out here, you'll be able to see what it is. So the way that I'm going to go about that is first making rods that kind of connect to where the skid's going to be, and make sure it's a layer below. Like you don't want it to be above this, you want it below this, because that's where it is. These fixtures are below the ship, beneath it. And I'm going to try to even out where they are. So we're going to put one there, one here. And you can even put a third one there if you wanted to. That just stabilizes the skid. You don't have to. So I would go like that, and then adding that final piece like this. And then copy paste again. And what you have is like kind of a skid like that. If it doesn't look right, if it looks weird, use all these different things you can do. Let's go with adding maybe this little piece like here. No, that doesn't look right. How do I want to go about this? I'm trying to figure out the perspective here. That won't work either, though that might look okay. Not so sure, I don't think so. I think this should be okay. Let's also follow that logic of dropping the brightness down like this. Okay, and even these are a little too big. There we go. I don't want them to, there we go. And then just copy and paste this. Copy, paste, flip, rotate, and it might not be perfectly even, so might have to change it. like this. I think that looks okay. Let me see. So there's that part. And we're going to add all kinds of fun stuff like a jet booster pack. Maybe add in like a mini fridge. Maybe we can fit a hot tub in here. I don't know. I mean, what's the point of being the big jolly guy if you can't have a hot tub? You know, like you're going all around the world in one night and you're delivering all these packages. I would rather fly by hot tub. You know, I mean, that's just my personal preference. I mean, but hey, whatever floats your boat. I mean, hot tub to me is the way to go. It's not an airship, but Santa's sleigh. Well, it is an airship, shall we say? But I wanted to do Santa's sleigh at least for kind of a, you know, theme. So, and I know obviously this is not a very practical map. Not many people are going to use Santa's sleigh, but I mean the point is to understand the concepts of putting together stamps. Okay, like when you're putting things together, whether it's an airship, a robot, or whatever it is you're trying to put together, you have to know these basic steps of how to put stamps together. I've mentioned one already. Make the black background all black. That way you can see every stamp and you can kind of see it in its entirety without distraction from other artifacts on the map. So that's pro tip 1. There's that second pro tip. Make your stamps fairly large so that it's easier to put together. And then also that other pro tip about putting things that are below things at a darker brightness, lower brightness, and the things on top at a higher brightness. It's all about adding depth, and we'll get to shadows too as well. But first, let's continue with this. So we have the sleigh, the skids are there, the front and the back are there. We're also going to be adding reindeer and all these other things as well. I'm going to make it small because now I have to like put a booster jetpack on the back basically. And the way that I'm going to go about that is just using maybe some steampunk stuff. So if you go here like this, you can type in steampunk, and I don't know if it'll, let me just double check. No, it doesn't. So if you go over to the left panel and you can type in, you can click this toggle to turn off all fantasy battle maps, packs, so you won't see any more packs. Scroll down a little bit and look for a steampunk. You'll see it closer to the bottom. It's got 48 items in it. You go to expand all so you can see everything in it. I highly recommend using the search bar. I think Philip just went over and checked like how is it that people approach looking for stamps. It's only like a really small percentage of people, like 11% of people who actually use the search function. People just scroll for like 20 minutes what they're looking for. I mean, and that's fun too, because you know you're looking at the catalog and you're like, ooh, you know, sometimes it's fun just to peruse through the catalog and look at all the goodies, right? So let's go ahead and look at like some of this kind of steampunky stuff that we can use. There's lights, there are these tubes. I kind of like these things right here. Like here's even a little gas canister and a boiler. And there's another boiler right here with, it looks like it has vents on it. And I'm just going to use this. And I'm going to create like a sense of like 2 kind of turbines that are built in the back. Like this. I'll show you, I'll put them together. It looks something like this. And then maybe even put something on the ends and then have flames going out. I mean, if you're going to be delivering, you know, kids and, you know, toys and stuff to kids all day, you know, you're going to need a ride that really can, you know, cover some miles, unless it's like some kind of teleport magic thing. I don't know. But for me, I would kind of think that Santa's ride's going to need some serious boost. You know, just even add a third one. Forget it. Just do it. You know, add a third one. Maybe even add like a little, I don't know, maybe a fan would look good on the back. I kind of think flames would look better, but let's just put it there to see. Nah, I think I like the idea of flames better. That's, in my opinion, just more interesting. Right? And then, let's see here. Let's take a look at our options. So these things, and I think also we can look up pipe. Now, whenever you do that thing where you know, only pick one pack to look at, just remember that if you are looking for something else, only this pack's going to pop up. So when you're done, click the toggle again, and then all the stuff will be selected. Okay, making sure it works. Yep. Things are a little laggy because I'm recording right now. I'm sorry. Yes. Oh. Oh. I hate it. We're doing it. Yes, it's wonderful. I love it. Lightning coming out of it. Oh, that's even better. Like Santa moves at like lightning speed. I really dig that. That's cool. Wait. All in favor? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. All in favor? No. And let's even add like oh, well, you're welcome to turn your mics on. I'm not recording any of your voices. It's only picking up my audio, just to let you know. So you are all safe. So I'm gonna punch in pipe, and I really like some of these pipes have some nice pieces to them that look really good. Like this small sewer pipe looks interesting. It has like a interesting kind of like shape to it. Like this looks kind of nice. I kind of like that shape. And then maybe add like a Tesla coil or like two rods sticking out with like a Tesla coil at the end or something. That'd be super cool. Like I would dig that. I would dig that. So like if you're doing like a Tesla coil, like something kind of like maybe like this. We'll make one and then I'll just copy and paste the rest. So you got one like this, and I'm gonna go over to transform. So super cool trick. This is another one of those pro tips I totally recommend. Like if you're putting like a wall together and a piece just isn't long enough and you don't want to have to like layer two on top of each other. And you know how frustrating that would be, especially if you are using an object shadow. If you have two objects stacked on top of each other or overlapping each other, then where they overlap, that object shadow is going to go twofold. And so the way to avoid that is just to use what's called the transform tool. If you don't see it, like select the thing that you want, go to advanced settings, left panel, go to transform. You're going to see width and height. And you can kind of do width or height to kind of fit a wall piece or a pipe to be the length that you want. So kind of keep that part in mind. Pro tip there. Very, very helpful to use the transform tool. I use it all the time. It's extremely helpful. And then I'm also going to put an orb at the end because I'm thinking like a Tesla coil has an orb at the end where all the electricity comes out. So you just type in orb. And I don't know what color to make it. Maybe yellow would be fine, or I'm not sure. We'll see. Let's put it down first. I'm going to put it down a layer on top like this. I'm going to drop the brightness down just a bit. Like the advanced settings is super nice. You have placement. So how to single, multiple, auto. This is just if you want to have multiple stamps and how to change them. There's filters, HSBC, which I'm sure most people are familiar with, and a transform tool. If this is new to you, I highly recommend using advanced settings. It's extremely useful. Okay, so now that we put that together, we can also just copy and paste, put these strange rods at the end here, and we're gonna zoom out. Just take a look. Ooh, Santa's sleigh is looking really weird. Oh man, that's so weird. What is going on here? What did I do? Bubbles? What about something like that? So it looks more like they're part of like pipes or something like this. I've just dropped the saturation of everything. So they kind of match a little bit better, or I don't know. This is not something we have to keep. I can get rid of this. You could also just have like one big one instead of two or something. Maybe three looks too much, you know, or just not have it at all. Like that's a super long sleigh, you know, like Santa's getting ready for takeoff. Rudolph slips, you know, the Tesla coil breaks off as it curves and breaks off, hits the chimney. You're like, this is a disaster, Rudolph. What did you do to my sleigh? I'm trapped on this stupid house. You know, so, you know, you gotta, you know, just think carefully about this. Exactly. You know, you gotta be cool. You know, let's not have any like protruding things sticking out so that these kind of predicaments can occur. You don't want that. You don't want that. And I don't know about you, but Rudolph is a bad butt. I mean, he's tough. Don't mess with him. Like even Santa knows better than to mess with Rudolph. You don't mess with red-nosed reindeer, okay? They're serious. You ever seen him eat? I mean, it's crazy. Okay. All right, so I'm going to remove the Tesla coil idea. That was a bad idea on my part, you know. I don't know. I like bad ideas, I guess. I don't know. I don't even really like this whole this weird decoration thing. I don't even really like that either. It looks kind of pooey. Yeah. I don't approve. Oh, oh, okay. Maybe if I go to like, maybe the color is wrong. Maybe if I go this stuff right here. You could call it flourishing or garnishment or, you know, decorative. Oopsie. How did that get over there? What did I do? Oh, man. I have to remind myself to group things. So I'm just going to group right now. And as always, when you group, name it immediately, especially if you like grouping, because, you know, you'll have like 20 groups and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't label any of these. You got to go through that 25 list. Group. Which one? Where is it? Where is it? Ah! Go crazy. So make sure you label your groups. I'm just going to call this Pimp and Ride because it sounds good. All right. Boom! Pimp and Ride. Okay. I'm going to save real quick. I've done 129 changes. And just for future, if you're new here, always save after a certain number of changes. Maybe I'm just like super paranoid. Maybe there should be a badge for that or something. But always like remember to save your changes. And I usually do it around 100 to 200 changes. Unless you're a risk taker, you can go with 3,000 changes. But I definitely recommend that after a certain number of changes that you save, it's just kind of one of those pitfalls of using a web tool. And especially if you're using Chrome, what happens is you have this change history. I know I mention this every time. Cheryl's like, oh my God, it's just like the 5 millionth time I've heard this from Mati. But if you're using Chrome tabs, up here, Chrome tabs have a megabyte limit. And so as your change history gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you're more prone to cause what's called an internet timeout. Okay, now if that kind of thing happens, all you have to do is just open up a new tab and then click log in on the Inkarnate website, because what probably happened is that internet timeout probably logged you out, and so you log back in and it should technically auto save that map that you're working on. If not, let us know, send us a support ticket. If you don't know what a support ticket is, look for a little yellow speech bubble in the bottom right hand corner. You click that, it will take you straight to our support, and lo and behold, I am that person at support, so you will be talking to me. Fun stuff, right? Okay, let's move over this stuff. Just going to make sure that this is in the same spot where these connect right here across. All right, I'm okay with these being gray. And so the next part is to go ahead and add some lightning coming out of the back. So I think if you type in light, maybe it'll be there. Let me check. There it is, lightning. What color should the lightning be? Blue, red, yellow. Any suggestions? What do you think? I don't know. Any color works for me. Maybe I'll just put a bunch there first and we can kind of decide. Ooh, let's also keep track of that group. When I'm working on stamps, or working on a group, I generally try to remember to open the group. And if you're adding new stamps to it, this is kind of one of those pro tips. Like you might be encouraged to want to just say, okay, I'll put this on layer 1, this one right here, and then I'm going to take some lightning and then put it like right here, and then I'll regroup. I'll put all that stamps and then regroup. So group within groups does have like a hazard to it. So I don't recommend doing that. You totally can, and I have before, but just open up your group and then start adding stamps if you want to continue editing that group. It works a little bit easier in my opinion. So I'm just going to put a bunch of lightning down against this one. We're going to do one first and just kind of see how it looks. I'm going to rotate them. If you don't know how to use if you don't know about shortcut keys, I totally recommend that you go to shortcut keys. Just press the K key. Boom. And then you'll see like all the different shortcut keys. I totally recommend using shortcut keys. Even I fail at it. Once in a while, I'll forget to use a shortcut key. But the truth is shortcut keys are totally going to speed up your process, especially if you're a DM and you're like, I have a campaign tomorrow and I don't have enough time to make this map. Okay, shortcut keys speeding up your process is the best way to kind of avoid that. Also, don't procrastinate, you naughty, naughty DM. Okay? All right, so let's keep adding in this lightning stuff. We're going to make just some fun lightning here. Go one over here like this. Okay, so we got lightning coming out. You can even add a little light source too. We're going to add light sources later, but and I can just copy and paste this one. Copy, paste. And I can probably just flip and kind of rotate one, not both of them. That doesn't work. Why are you not working? Hold on 1 second. Okay. Oopsie. I don't know. What happened to all my lightning? Well, there we go. That'll work. We'll just do that. Copy, paste, put one here, flip it. Ooh, man, this is going to be pretty fast. Ooh. I hope Santa knows what he's doing. Does he have a license to drive this thing? I mean, is there a license to drive this thing? I don't know. Let's go transform. I'm going to push one to be a little bit higher up like this. All the way like that. Okay. And as I mentioned, I'll doing light sources and shadows last. Now, you don't have to do this every time. I know Cheryl and some other people like to have at least 1 or 2 shadows there to work with, but I generally save shadows for last. Or at least don't put shadows down until you have some kind of light source, right? Because you got to go order of operation. Like, you're not going to make a shadow without a light source to cast it. So put down your light sources when you're ready, and then when the light sources are done, pro tip, then move on to your shadows. Okay, that's just a general way of going about it. That's what I like to do. Right, so we have the sleigh. We've got lightning coming out of it, and I think we're also going to want to fill it with some stuff. When I think of Santa's sleigh, I generally think of having inside of the, I believe this is called the carriage part, I'm not sure, and maybe even adding in some more pipes and stuff would be kind of nice as well. So if I go over to the plumbing and drop the saturation all the way down. So one thing that you can do to make things match, because you notice that sometimes when you try to piece stamps together, it doesn't look right, or it looks weird because there's varying colors. One thing to do is just desaturate everything. By desaturating, everything becomes gray, and then those stamps kind of mix together better. So that's one thing you can do. It doesn't always look good, by the way, too. So it just depends on what you're doing. So I'm going to connect some of these into the main thing. So like I'm going to push one right here like this against here and go up a layer. And what I'm basically doing is just making it look like I'm adding fastening, basically like a brace or something to facets to kind of brace these things together, because it's always good to have some kind of realism, because then it's a little bit more easier for your eye to digest. When it's completely unrealistic, like totally crazy, sometimes it's hard for the eye. So just adding in some simple things like these little pieces right here, it also makes it look like this one is up top and this one's below. And we can even further accentuate that by just making these pieces right here just a little bit darker. So using that light and dark concept. So these get a little bit darker, this one's a little bit brighter, and it does make it look like they're below. Again, using contrast, light and dark, to give depth. So now that looks a little bit better, and we have these braces here to brace against these 2 booster packs or whatever they are. And we can think about other things that we want to put on there as well. I think maybe adding a couple more pipes might not be a bad idea. Maybe, we'll see. Oh, this one looks interesting. Maybe we can put one here. Maybe one like this. And don't forget to make it around the same brightness as this one. Like, if you don't remember what it was, just look at it. This is at 51. You can just go right to brightness, type in 51. Copy, paste, and just let you know, copy and paste is going to be like your best friend. I absolutely recommend that you use copy and paste often. Okay, it's going to speed up your process. It's so much easier than going through the catalog and looking for that stamp again. That's a total pain. Don't do that. Okay, don't make your life a pain. Okay, don't do it. All right, let's take a step back and take a look. 46 changes, nothing serious. I think just adding that little bit of mechanic there looked nice. You can add in a couple more things too. Let's go back and go to that steampunk. So I'm just going to do what I did before, just kind of go out and go over to the steampunk. I saw some things that might look good, like this one right here might work okay. It's a radiator. It might look good on top of here. And don't forget to, again, drop that saturation and drop the brightness just a hair. Okay, so that looks okay to me. I'm okay with that one. Let's keep looking at some other options for mechanics, just to kind of flush out the mechanical part. Hello, Semnorod. I am glad that you are here. By the way, I absolutely love your badge, by the way. That was the mentor badge. That was sick. Love it. Always love your stuff. Okay, let's take a look at our options here. We've got a couple things here. You know what? Santa's going to need a little bit of light so that he can check out. You know, I mean, if you're going to have a bunch of reindeer's butts in your face, you might as well, you know, get a good view. So let's lighten up those reindeer butts, okay, by putting some light. Let's see here. I think Train actually has the light that I'm looking for. Okay, hold on a second. I think if I type in light, it should pop up. Like this one right here, this train light right here. This is kind of nice. I like this one. You can kind of put that one like in the front, maybe like this. Oopsie, I don't see it. What's the problem? There we go. And then I might have to make this one go up a layer above that. Let me take a look. Yeah, okay, cool. So you got some light sources there. You got, this is going to be a light source in the back. So Santa's sleigh is slowly coming together. It's a nice sleigh. It's the best you've ever seen. Okay. So next, I'm going to go ahead and put some stuff inside of the sleigh. And this is that thing where I'm going to like cheat a little bit. There aren't really a lot of like, I think I can check. Maybe there's like a bag or a sack that we could use. Let's go with bag. Well, there are bodies, but Santa doesn't deliver bodies, so that's not going to work. Let's go with sack, maybe. You know, I don't really care much for like this, but I guess it could work. There's also, let's put one here for now. I'll put that sack there, and I do believe under Fantasy Battle Map or Fantasy Regional HD, there should be another bag that we could use. Though just remember that Fantasy Regional HD stamps have shadows baked into them, so you have to be very strategic. I don't generally recommending, it's kind of a power user ability to use stamps across styles, and it's because all the stamps are rendered differently through each style, and so you have to be very strategic about it. Now if I type in like crate and barrel, and there's this nice big bag right here, I like this one. I actually used this for another one, so I'll go with 500. So it's a little small, but if you look carefully, when I place it over here, you'll see a baked in shadow right there. You see that baked in shadow? So you have to be very careful. This actually might work okay. You got a light source over there, so this might be okay. And I'll show you a cool trick. Though one thing that's wrong with this thing is that I would expect like Santa's bag to be kind of like this bright red color, but I can't really produce that color with the U. So I'm going to do a path trick. Path tricks are really fun, and I'll show you how to do them. When you're doing the path tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the path tool and then go over this stamp with a red path, change the blend mode, and that way this bag will turn red. Now, there are some caveats when working with paths. Sometimes they can be a little buggy. So the way to avoid that is by making your path small at first. So I made the stamp small. Okay, so it's a pretty small stamp. Then you're going to go over to the path tool. That's going to be the P key. And you make sure that your line is going to be solid. Make it 100% opacity. Bring the width all the way up. Let's just put down first and just see how it looks. Okay, that is pretty big. So we can resize this actually. About there should be fine. Okay, and I generally recommend this as well. Whenever you're editing a path, put down the path first, and then you can edit it so you can see the changes that you're doing, and that way it's easier than having to guess what it will look like. Just put a path down and then edit it while it's live and selected, and that way you can see the changes that you're making. So I'm going to turn off the shadow. Now when it comes to path shadows, you can't just turn off the blur. You also have to turn off the color, which is the opacity slider, all the way to 0, to the very bottom, okay? Otherwise, you'll still be able to see some shadow. So make sure you drop both of those slider bars down. The next step is to pick a color. I'm going to choose red, of course. All right, so that works just fine, okay? And I'm also going to go look over blend modes and pick, I think overlay might be the best one. Now you can see right away that this goes right over, and if I go over here, we'll interact. But overlay is basically just giving the color of red, but not hiding it, but keeping what stamp is underneath, okay? So this trick is great for like painting a stamp a different color that you want it to be. Just know that it can't overlap, because let's say I go like this, okay? And I select this stamp and the path, and I go over here like this. Oopsie, I don't think I grabbed the path. My mistake. Okay, go like this, my mistake. You got both of them. You can still see the path, okay? So kind of keep that bit in mind, that you don't want when you're going to be covering up this whole stamp, you want to make sure that it's not going over the stamp, overlapping at all, like this. Okay, make sure that, oopsie, whoa, what just happened? Weird. Okay, sorry about that. Do I have my touch screen on? Oh, I turned it off. There we go. Okay, let's make sure I got the path working. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go in. Oopsie, what is going on here? Uh-oh. Oh no, my pen just went crazy. Oh shoot. Oh no. That's not good. Oh no, my pen goofed up. I have to do this all by hand. Hey, just so you know, all of you mouse users, I'm going back to my roots. I can't tell you how much using a pen is so much easier. Oopsie. Shoot. Oh man. Okay, let's just go, maybe if I increase the size just a hair, make sure I cover the whole thing. Well, anyway, you get the general idea. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, my pen is officially screwed up. I'm not sure what I did to screw it up. Okay, so now this is red, and make sure that you group it, right? So that way you have you're selecting both the path and the bag, okay? And don't forget to rename it. Just call it Santa's Goody Bag or something, or Baddie Bag. I don't care. Whatever you want to call it. Something naughty, something fun. I don't care. Okay, and then it's nice and big. When you go like this, I'm going to put it on top like this. And I'm also going to have some toys flying out. So we'll make this nice and big. It's resting in the back. Okay, we're going to have a bunch of toys flying out. And for right now, I'm just going to, just so I don't have to deal with maneuvering a bunch of stamps, I'm going to break my rule a little bit and place them on top first. So I'm not actually opening up this group. I'm putting some right there. Okay. I wish my pen wasn't broken. Poo. And then we're also going to want to use a shadow, and we'll get to that later actually. Let's do shadow last. Oops, see some of the path overlap there. That's what I'm talking about. Oopsie. Oh, my bad. Okay, so now we want to take a bunch of the Christmas stuff. I'm sure some of you noticed that we released some holiday special stamps for various styles. So if you scroll up to the very top, whenever you have holiday special stamps, they're always going to be at the very top, so you know where to find them. So there's a bunch right here. Okay, now because I'm making toys that are flying around, you don't have to do purely top down because they're not resting on something. If a toy is just flying out of the back of Santa's, turbo pimp ride, then you're gonna expect, different perspectives with the stuff flying out the back, right? So it's okay to use these HD, Fantasy Regional HD stamps. And I'm gonna first start with making this a little bit smaller. And I wanna do the toys that are inside first. So I'm gonna go go over to Fantasy Battle Map. We'll decorate the inside first, so we'll do that. Fantasy Battle Map. Again, holiday stuff's going to be at the very top. Some frames, some nice stuff here. So I'm just going to take some goodies, put them on the ground. So let's see here. I got a lot of red here, so let maybe break that up. Add in some different colors. So adding in a yellow box, adding in some green boxes. Overlap them quite a bit. Always remember to kind of like overlap. So put some there. And if you want, you can also change the hue so you have different options, so things are different. So if you want, you can go like this, and now you have some purple boxes. Okay, got this kind of weird color box like this. Overlap, overlap, overlap. Super important, okay? There's that one. We're also going to want to put in some of these kind of like toys or whatever this is. These look like decorations for a Christmas tree, I guess. So we'll put in just a couple balls in here, gotta have some balls floating around. Okay. Oh, I like that too. This little cute little star that goes on there. We'll put that in there too. Santa's such a jerk. The last house it was at, I hated those cookies. They were terrible. I'm taking all your Christmas tree decorations, jerks. Don't you know I'm lactose intolerant? That's why he took off with the stuff. So now you know the backstory, okay? All right. Let's see here. Oh, I think I saw some candy cane. Let's go with some diabetes stuff here. Yeah, some candy canes. You know, Santa has like this incredible like a metabolism where he could just eat candy all day and he still looks like it, but he doesn't die from it. I don't know. I mean, maybe he uses insulin. I don't know. But I mean, the guy's got to live on something. He's always so jolly. I mean, I'd be hyped up on sugar too, you know. What do you expect? Okay, got that done here. Let's take a look. Oh, you know what? Be cool to add maybe some Christmas garland on there as well. Maybe that's what I should have put on these sides here. Maybe that would look kind of cool, I guess. You can even put them up front too, or maybe put some in the back, like back here somewhere. I'm definitely going to select the group and put that in there. No, I want the garland. Why'd you give me that strange thingy? I don't want that. Oh, there we go. All right. Put some garland in there. Oh, no, I can't see it. There we go. Oh, yeah. Ooh, and I like the green, too. Goes well with that red. We'll add another one right here, maybe. Going like this. Oops. No, on top. There we go. Sweet. Oh, yeah. This is really starting to get to be a nice ride, in my opinion. Okay. So now you got all the fancy stuff in the back. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Or am I being inappropriate? Should I not say these naughty things? You know, you guys know how inappropriate I am. I just say the worst things. I am a purist. I only use the path tool to make paths. Semrod, you purist, you? I love it. I'm a Luddite. I don't use the path for anything else. Just teasing you. I love it. The path tool is only for paths. I love it. Oh, 141 changes. Ooh. Shaving carrots right now. Naughty, Matthew. No. Save that. Save it now. Ugh. So inappropriate. Bum, bum, bum. All right, we are slaying it, man. Okay, yeah, I'm going to stop saying that, I swear. I swear I'll stop. You stop using that. That's inappropriate, I know. Okay, go in a little bit more there. All right, the sleigh is coming together. Yeah, this is really nice. I so dig this. This is cool. So I'm gonna grab all the other gifts. So some cool tricks about selecting stuff in the right panel. If you want, you can select something at the top of a list, and then hold down Shift key, select something else. It will select every single one of those. Okay, so start at the top. And then click the last one on the list. It will select all of them, right? Hit that group button. And of course, as always, name it. And so I'm just going to call it presents. Boom. So all the presents are there. So now it's a group. So we got presents. We got Santa's goodie bag. We got the sleigh. Oh, man. You know what we're missing is some Prancer, some Dancer, some Dixon, and some Rudolph, right? So let's get that started, right? Oopsie. I didn't want to do that. Okay, move this over. Go into the catalog. I think we don't have any reindeer. So you have to makeshift your own. I'm going to use a horse first. So just type horse. I know horses are not reindeer. Don't worry. I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. So let's go ahead and just, again, when you're piecing something together, make it real big first, right? So there's like your horse or the body of your reindeer. I'm just going to use the horse as the reindeer. You go back into the catalog, and I think there should be a series of like heads in Gothic horror. Let me just check here. I don't remember what they're called, but I think they're in here. Let's open it up, and there should be a series of like busts, you know, taxidermy. You've ever heard of that? Ooh, slow to load. Listen, you evil computer. OBS is eating up the resources. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, we'll get to the bottom of the catalog. Just, you know, you guys got like 20 minutes. Oh, here we go. This is right here. This little elk just trophy head. Ooh. And you're going to put it on top. And of course, it's not going to look right. So you're going to have to cover that up. You know, as always, be sneaky, cheat. You know. So now you add that head on there. And so that's there. And at first you're going to be like, oh, that looks so weird. Okay, I know. It's weird. I know. But you have to hide it. So there's like all these different choices of things you could do. Like you could put a ribbon on top of it, maybe some garland or something. And that way you hide it. And then you might have to change some of the lightness and darkness. So let's see here. You could put like a ribbon like on top like this. Just make sure that it hides the whole thing. So you could have a ribbon on top, and even that head looks super small. So you could even make it a little bit smaller like that. So you could use a ribbon if you wanted to. There's also some garland. So let's, oh wait, it's right there. My bad. Right there. There's the garland. You could even use garland if you wanted to. Whatever you're going to do to cover it up, that's your choice, okay? So just make sure that you have that. So I'm going to use the ribbon. I mean, if Santa's going to look at the back of someone's head, they better have something pretty on it. So we'll do that. And then also, I think there is some horse equipment that might work good. Let me type in horse again. I think I saw, there you go, right here, horse equipment, right here, perfect, okay. And we're gonna put this on top as well. So put that there. And I'm gonna put it down a layer, no, up a layer, and then put the bow on top. So it's on top like that. And I'm just gonna make sure that this is about the right size. So let me go back to the horse equipment. It looks a little big. Let's go down a little more. I think right about there is right. And of course, you know, we're going to add in reins and stuff because your reindeers aren't going to be just free floating. They're going to have to be attached to the sleigh somehow. So we'll make sure to do that. Okay, so we'll get it nice and big. Take a look at it. I'm going to make this a little bit darker. You notice how dark it is where the mane is, right where the ribbon is. So if we maybe darken the head just a little bit, it might match a little bit better, I think. And we'll make this one Rudolph, so we're going to use an orb, of course. And we'll use a red one. So, because Rudolph is in the front, he's got a big old nose. There we go. All right, and we're going to want to increase the brightness of it so it sticks out. I'm going to increase the saturation and the object shadow, which I'm going to make red. And then that way it has some red sticking out. Let's take a look. What about there? Should be enough. Okay, and then once you've selected everything, don't forget to group, of course, and then rename it. And we'll just call this one Rudolph. Rudolfo. We're going to call him Rudolfo because he just got tired of calling Rudolph, and he just wanted to be called Rudolfo because it just has a, you know, I mean, a more dignified feel to it. You know, I don't know. I like Rudolfo. It's a nice name. So I'm going to quickly save and refresh the page and see if I can stop some of the bugs that are happening. Does anyone have any questions or anything so far? Feel free. Ooh, what is Scattercloud saying here? What's going on here? Ooh, Semra, I secretly hope the Babylonian style is in one of these gifts. I say nothing. Could maybe use lighting for the horns. Ooh, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like that. Is it a little too dark, you think? Maybe if I add a light source, let's open up this real quick. Open up Rudolfo and go to light source. Go to light like this. And I would definitely recommend using the orange light if you're going to do HSBC, kind of a pro tip there. So you have this orange light here. Give it a second. And I'm going to put it on layer 5 so it's above, excuse me, like this. And I'm also going to change that color. So let's go over to saturation to boost the color. And then we'll go through hue and kind of look for that reddish color. So you can kind of see up here what it looks like and up against things. So let's just take a look here. Blue, no, that doesn't make any sense. What's going on here? He's got a red nose and it's emanating green light. What is happening here? This defies all logic. What is happening? You know, I kind of... Oh, come on. Where's that red? Red is super hard to accomplish. I think that looks okay. That looks okay. What do you think, Scattercloud? Is that a red okay? More? Something else? Oh, yes. Thank you, Scattercloud. Appreciate it. Awesome. Oh, thank you. I love it when people give me the inputs. Inputs is good. You know, I think because they've got a red nose, that maybe a red bow won't look good. Maybe we should consider looking at other bows. Maybe a green one would look a little better. And I'll change that brightness just a bit as well. It seems super bright. Okay, so we got a green bow for that. I'm gonna move this over to here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna save and then refresh the page. So one thing I'd recommend is that after you do about 3 or 4 saves, I would definitely recommend refreshing the page. That's really helpful to do that. So we're just gonna mad click refresh. Click, 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 click. I hope you heard all my mouse clicks when I did that. Just, click, 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 just to annoy you, like nails on a chalkboard. So click, 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 click. Being dastardly, it's what I do. It's what I do. Like, why would you want to be nice? Ew, yuck. Nice is boring. Don't be nice. No, you should be nice. You should be nice. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. Let me check my mouse too. No, dang it. Okay, so now we're gonna have to put together this list. So let's give it the long way, like this, so that I can kind of work with the reindeer. And we're gonna have to think about size here, about the size of the reindeer. So I would just put them right up against the sleigh. So that way you can kind of get a scale for what you want. I'd say about this size looks about right. We could maybe even go down just a hair more. Oopsie, I don't want to do it that way. Let's do it this way. Let's go, here we go. I think about that size should be right, okay? Let's do that. I'm gonna push it all the way in the edge here. And then I'm gonna put the first reindeer up in front like this. We're gonna copy, paste, open it up, turn off magic orb and light. Don't need them anymore. And if you want, you can change up the bow colors so that way you can tell that they're all different kinds. And you can even change the direction of the head. So if you flip like this, and that way it's not the same head every single time, or you can move it like this to change it up. So there's that. Unfortunately, the heads are tilted to the side, so they're all going to look like that. Oops. So we got to deal with that. Let's choose some different color bows. In fact, I'm just going to delete that bow and put down a yellow one, I think. Let's go back to the original hue. Filters. There we go. And because they're not the lead reindeer, they're not going to have a big enough bow, okay? Big bow means you're a big boy or girl, and that you will be leading the pack. It's the alpha reindeer, you know? All right. Copy, paste, put some on there. I'm just going to put a bunch for now. Let's just put in a total of 6. Santa has been eating a lot of that candy, so he's not a light fellow, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with not being a light fellow. And so he's going to need some reindeer power. Keep him going here. And the way that I'm going to go about this is putting together a series of rope. I'm just going to quickly make some changes. Do you pimp the antlers of the deer? Do I want to pimp deer antlers? That does sound fun. I might consider that, you know? All right. Yes, that is a definite serious possibility, I think. Let's now add a little bit more adventure, and by giving it a little bit more dynamic, select everything and rotate. Okay, so we're using a diagonal, and then we're going to flip. We're also going to rotate these a little bit so that this way you have some kind of like angle. So one thing I can tell you about overall compositions is that curves work really, really well. Like curves are aesthetically pleasing. They look good. So when you're putting together stuff like this, make sure you have a nice curve in there so it looks nice and it's going to be curving. And we can just say that Santa is making a hard right turn because maybe he's trying to avoid, I don't know, 757 or something. It's like, oh, flight. This is flight 27B to Los Angeles. We are now passing Santa's sleigh. Please look to your left and don't forget to have wine. Okay. All right. Ooh, it's getting warm in here. All right. All right, so now we're going to add some rope in there for the reins. So I would recommend going in, catalog. Let's turn off that custom stuff. Don't want that there. Just type in rope. And there should be a series of rope in there. Let me take a look. Okay, and there is some curved rope too. So this should be interesting. Let's just start with straight rope for now. And the ropes are going to be connected to the harnesses that are attached to the horses. So we're going to put some rope attached to, let's make some sections where the rope, let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how I would go about this. Let's go back to that rope. And this part right here is going to be a little time consuming. Oopsie, make sure it goes up a layer. There we go. This might be a bit more difficult. Let me try this. On the back there, and then, well, you know, I think I'm going to go with the center instead. So put it in the center, like right here, and then I can put like a knot there. Let me check. Do I have knots? Let me check. Yes, I do. Okay, let's just say there's a knot right there. All right. Okay, we're going to copy and paste this, put it on top, and we'll have to rotate this to make sure that it's going in the right place. So I'm going to rotate it right about there, copy and paste this longer one, just see where it's at. This has to go up. Oopsie. Okay, I think that looks about right. Let me just copy and paste these. And the reins are going to connect to each reindeer. So kind of keep that part in mind. I mean, technically, there would be, oh shoot, I forgot the name of it, but if you technically have horses together, here, I'll show you a quick copy and paste. I didn't really do it right, but I'll show you real quick what I mean. Especially if you're putting together like a carriage, this way you'll understand how the reins work for a carriage. But generally there's a rod that goes across made out of wood like this, okay? And this wood goes across like this. And the reason why that is there is to make sure the two horses don't diverge from each other. Okay, so you have that, and then the harnesses are attached to that part. And it's not generally above, it's generally below, if I remember correctly. I think it's like that. I can't remember. I think it's below, like this. So I'll have to redo some of the reindeer stuff by putting this kind of like rod underneath and bringing these two a little bit closer together. Like this. They should be just a bit closer together. So I'll have to redo some of this. And again, I'm dropping this part right here. Unfortunately, I just totally forgot the name of these parts. And maybe there's someone in the chat who knows a little bit more. If you're familiar with the reins of a horse for a carriage, you can remind me what that piece is. But generally, this part is below. And again, it's just to make sure that the horses don't diverge from each other. Because it's going to be really weird when Prancer and Vixen are like, no, we're going west. No, we're going east. No, no. And then they just go off their own ways. And then Santa plummets to his death. So yeah, you got to have that little thing there so that they don't run off. They don't be naughty. Okay, so kind of keep that part in mind. So we'll copy, paste, put that down there. So you have that there, and I want to make sure I can see it underneath. So let's do like this. I want to be able to see it. Put these together. I'll redo the rope because I goofed. And all the reindeer are facing that way, so that makes sense to see where they're going, except for Rudolph, of course. Rudolph's being a little rebel and kind of facing the other way. Rudolfo, you naughty, naughty boy, you. We talked about this. Santa's going to have another sit down with you. Okay, let's go like this. Now, this is not perfect. I understand. I'm not perfect at this stuff, so please forgive me if I'm not doing it right. Okay, we'll put 2 there and 2 there. This is not technically right, probably, but I just, whatever. Let's see here. I do believe technically there is one other wooden piece that goes straight across like this, I think. I'm just trying to remember how this works. I think there is a beam that goes to it. Oh man, this is so hard to remember. Why did I not do more research before doing this? Naughty man. I'm a naughty man. This is what I get for not doing research first. This is what happens. Okay, let's stretch this out. I should have made this when it was already done and everything, but that's okay. All right, so this is kind of a tough one because I can't curve it can't curve it right because the horse, if they're kicking back, well, actually they're reindeer, so you're floating. So I don't know. This is tough. I don't know the physics. Ugh. This is frustrating. Is it a hitch? Ah, a hitch. Yes. What they call like a stinger in the back of like a truck, you know, where you hang your truck nuts and all that, whatever stuff. You know, it's called a stinger. It's where you stick the ball hitch. But yeah, for Santa, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think hitch works fine with me. I like it. That's what it is. Okay, it's a hitch. That's what it is now. It's a hitch. We don't have a choice in it. Just this is a hitch now. Okay, so if I go like this, then it's like there's this rope going over their head. Like, hey, this can't see anything. This rope is flinging in my face. So we'll put it down below. And again, if it's below something, drop that brightness. Copy, paste. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to put this on YouTube or not. This is pretty crazy. You know, actually, I think this will be okay. This will be all right. And then add that last bit of rope for Rudolfo. A good sir, Rudolfo. Okay, and I am going to be sneaky and put 2 down. So 1 here like this, like that. This rope will be below, so it goes below. There we go. We'll copy, paste, do it again. Shoot, I definitely should have researched this more, but hey, it looks okay. At least it doesn't look utterly like garbage. Okay, I think this is okay so far. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I'm digging. This is okay with me. It's not completely disgusting and makes me want to throw up my coffee cup. This is super okay. Thank you, Semnarod. I really appreciate that. My ego needs stroking from time to time. I can't help it. My mistake. Oh, we lost some people. Oh, that's sad. Well, people got busy lives. People are at work or doing stuff. At least we got more viewers than the other ones. No, I'm just kidding. It's cool. I don't mind. Okay. All right. Well, you know, I think I am going to, like, switch the Rudolfo's head a little bit because I kind of feel like he should be going with the flow of traffic, you know? Like, come on, man. You're facing the wrong way. What are you doing, man? What's going on here? All right, there we go. Now he's kind of got this curve. So, and as you can see, curves look super, super nice. So it's always nice to have them. You have this nice little, oopsie, I can't use my dang tablet pen. Dang it. So there's a nice curve here. Okay, that is not a nice curve, but at least the sleigh is curved right. My pen is not working, so I can't give you a great curve. I can't really give you a great curve right now. All right, so there's that. And then we also wanted to add in some toys falling out the back and some light sources and playing with shadows. So let's just jump into the shadow part right away. So I'm going to put shadows in the seats. This right here, just go to Object. And for those of you, let's see, who is all in here? Do I have anybody in here who's relatively new? No. Everyone here knows what they're doing. I got a bunch of pros in the chat with me. Dang, no noobs. Well, anyway, this is going to be showing up in a YouTube video, maybe. So I'll just quickly go over shadows. There are 3 types of shadows when you select an object. There's none. Look at that. No shadows being cast. Object, and you can change those settings by just clicking the S, which means shadow, okay? Doesn't mean anything else. It just means shadow, okay? I mean, unless you want to, yeah, the S means stupid, so now change the stupid. I mean, whatever you want, okay? I don't care. But it's S for shadow. Open that up, and there are your settings. And then there's a third one called layer, okay? Now, layer is different from object shadow. Layer means that if it has the layer shadow, then it won't show, that shadow won't show up on other stamps. It'll only show on the layer. Okay, it's only going to show on the FG and the BG. All right, so if you are stacking stamps and you want a shadow to show up on top, on a stamp on top of another stamp, you're going to have to use Object. That's a blend mode, so don't do that. You're going to want to go over to Object, okay, and you'll see the shadow immediately there, and that kind of helps to make it pop out a little bit already. Same thing with this one, just go Object, has a little bit of shadow. Okay. And then you can do the same thing with all of these toys if you want. So if you go into, oh, let's also piece all the rope together and all the reindeers. So let's just lock Pimp and Ride, Santa's Goody Bag, and Presents. Okay, and then I think I can just select everything else. So all that will be selected. We're going to group that, and we're just going to call that wheels. Santa's wheels. Even though these aren't wheels, they're quadrupeds, but whatever. It still works, right? Okay, we're going to go to Santa's Goody Bag. Oh, no, not that one. Presents. Oh, they already have object shadows. Perfect. Okay, everything selected already has an object shadow. Great. That's great. Let's also do the light and dark thing. So you have this one. All of the stamps that are below, make sure you just drop the brightness a little bit. So that way the ones on top are a little bit brighter and they pop out. That's always the trick, changing the lightness and brightness and all that stuff. That all really helps. Okay. Oop, that one's below too. Let's drop that brightness down. Make it a little bit darker. It's in the shadow, shall we say. And this one too looks like it's in a shadow, so drop that one. This one looks like it's in a shadow. Drop it down a little bit. That one looks okay, and that one looks okay. Let's take a look. Oopsie, how did that? I thought I just dropped the shadow on that one. And make it a bit smaller too. Like that, there we go. Okay, so we've done that right. Now to add in the presents that are coming out the back. So finally we can go back into the catalog, go to Fantasy Regional HD, and there should be a bunch of toys. And thankfully we're using a black background. So none of these toys, none of the shadows that are baked in here are going to be seen when you place them. So that's nice. And what we want to do is kind of create the illusion that they're flying out of the bag. So my recommendation would be to put down one first, like this, and then put a couple more down and kind of make like a little trail of presents just coming out. And the farther away they get from it, go ahead and drop the brightness down. So we'll start with the HD ones and just put these presents down and definitely vary them in size. So that's kind of important. Like this, rotate them. Okay, there's that. And then the ones that are farthest away are going to be a little bit darker. So drop the darkness of that one. This one is, excuse me, drop the brightness just a little bit. And these ones can be fairly bright. There is lightning sticking out the back. Okay, so let's make sure that the curve is right. So we're looking at the overall curve. And how would they be falling out? It would be something kind of like this. We got to look at that curve and how that goes. And we can also select the regular top-down ones as well. So grab these presents. And we're just going to mix it up with a bunch of presents. I'm going to put a couple together, like one or two small ones and big ones side by side. It always looks nice when you add varying sizes floating around. It always looks kind of nice in my opinion. Okay, and we're going to want to drop the brightness of all of these. Okay, so we got a trail of presents coming out the back. We've got our nice setup here. Santa needs some subwoofers. I mean, what does Santa listen to? There's no way. I mean, everyone knows that when you listen to Christmas music for too long, you go bald. Okay, I mean, you can't listen to Christmas music the whole time. I mean, what do you think Santa listens to? You know, I mean, does he listen to Christmas music like the whole time? I think I'd definitely lose the jolly. Listen to that for a whole night straight. I'd be like, play something good. Nothing wrong with Christmas music. I'm just letting you know. But there are limits, okay? There are limits to how much Christmas music you can listen to. I had a father who listened to Christmas music all year round, and I hated him for it. Just letting you know. Christmas music, it's wonderful, but not all the time, okay? Just letting you know. Okay, enough of me rambling and telling you about my vulnerable issues. Let's go back to making stamp stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go Fantasy Battle Maps 2.0, go to Light. And I'm going to grab a light stamp. I'm going to place it down real quick. Place it right here. Oopsie, go with the bigger one. And drop, because the lightning is kind of bluish, maybe I should be kind of making it blue, I guess. Let's check out what our options are. Let me go up here and I can see the color. We're looking for kind of a bluish color. And then maybe drop the saturation actually, because it's not pure blue. There's a little bit of kind of whitish to it. And we can maybe increase the brightness. There we go. We're going to make it pretty big, and then we're going to put it down like this so that we have at least this light source is kind of interacting a bit. We'll add a couple here. One there should be good. Copy, paste. Put one on each end like this. That looks good. We're also going to add some sparks as well. So open catalog, type in spark. All right, put that in the back there. You would expect like some kind of like sparkly action going in the back of a lightning thruster. You know, you're going at like what? I don't know, Mach 1 on this sleigh with all that lightning in the back. I mean, easily you're breaking the sound barrier. You know, I mean, if you're gonna do it in style, right? Mati after the 200th Christmas music. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's me. That's me right there. Christmas music is the devil. I will now do an edict. All Christmas music will be illegal forever. Just, you know, F your Christmas. Oh man, this is great. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, that's me. Definitely. I'm bah humbug. I'm that guy. No, I don't want to come around in the end. No. I'm not, I'm not coming around in the end. That's not going to happen. I will be the Grinch forever. I will have that doofy looking face forever. That's just the way it is. It's the way it is. I ate way too much green eggs and ham, and that's why I look like that and act like that. Okay. So I think that part, how much time do we got? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I think much of the sleigh is done. We might want to consider maybe putting some stuff on the ground. Maybe we could put like some city stamps, make him flying over a city, or we can resize it and make him be dodging an airplane. I mean, if you want it to be funny, I mean, there's a passenger flight in the way, Rudolph. Adjust course. Yes, big man. Big red dude, you got it. I mean, whatever it is you want to do, put a city at the bottom or whatever. I'm cool with anything. You guys know it. I am cool with anything. Okay, let's see here. Let's figure out what we're doing next. I love it. Crazy. Callum, where have you been? Do you think I haven't been crazy this whole time? No way. No way. Yeah, exactly. Callum, you know how psycho I am. Come on. I'm a total nut. Come on. The best kind. I'm like a bag of mixed nuts. Okay. I love that response. It was a special kind of eggnog. Nah. Okay. So I'm going to skip the airplane and just kind of do fantasy or the city style. And we're going to make like a little city at the bottom beneath everything. And so what I'll end up doing is just use watercolor city style. We're going to use that. And I'm going to group everything here. Oops, come on. There you go. Oopsie. Oh, that's right. I think I locked some stuff. Did I? No, I don't think so. Okay, group. Okay. And I'm going to put it on layer 1, renaming it. This is going to be called foreground, FG. Okay. And then everything else will be below that. So make sure you remember what layer it's on. I'll put it on layer 5 so I don't accidentally place a house on top of Santa's sleigh. You're like, wait a minute. That doesn't look right. Okay, so now I'm just going to quickly put a whole bunch of blocks together. And I'm going to make it to where most of the action is in the foreground. So I'm going to drop the saturation all the way to gray. I'm going to make it nice and small. And I'm going to piece a whole bunch of them together. So let's take a look at our options. Go up here. And I'm just going to piece a bunch of them together. Now you're getting kind of a watercolor city tutorial, you know, like things are just, you get to spice things up a bit, okay? And I'll try not to be so crazy in the future. I'm sorry, Callum. I hope I did not offend anyone's sensibilities. You know, if I offended, is that why people left? Was I being rude? Let me know. If I was being rude, let me know. Because I will probably keep doing it. We need to go deeper. Oh, I love that. Yeah, don't let me be weird, guys. You're a little lost in the Christmas spirit. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I think optimal word there is just lost, okay? Christmas spirit, sure, add it on there. But, you know, just lost. Optimal word. Okay. All right, so I'm going to piece a bunch of these together. We're going to make like a, you know, if you've been flying inside of an airplane and you look down and everything looks like a grid, or, you know, looks like a computer chip, you know, with all the little things floating around. So we're going to do that basically. I'm going to just drop the saturation all the way to gray because I want all the focus to be on the sleigh. So I'm just going to piece a whole bunch of these together real quick. I'm going to copy and paste every single one of them. Let's also remember to lock the FG if you finished it. If I finish this, I'm all done. Don't need it. So I'm just going to copy and paste a bunch of these together, and then I'll rotate it. I'll change it up when it's done. So it's kind of a secret. You can just like put a whole bunch of stuff together like this, and then you can put some things together. So it's kind of this fun little trick that you can do to kind of make a quick city. You put all these pieces together, you can copy and paste this whole thing like this, rotate it like this, and so you're just kind of putting these kind of blocks together. Let's put some there, and let's put it, okay, this needs to be on a layer below. What am I doing? There we go. And of course, we got to drop that brightness way down. Okay, I think that's about right. Okay, copy and paste that again, rotate, and then we'll, like I said, we'll individually change all of these buildings. Okay, we'll put some lights down there too, as you would kind of expect, right? I don't know if you've flown around on an airplane at night, but oh man, you can see all the beautiful city lights. It's so nice. Flying is so much fun. I mean, I don't know about flying in Santa's sleigh. I'd be a little uncomfortable. I'd be like, does this sleigh's cabin pressure? Has this been, you know, has the cabin pressure been secured? I don't think so, okay? We don't even know what altitude, you know, Santa's sleigh is at, you know? I mean, who knows? I don't know. Anyone know what altitude Santa's sleigh goes at? I mean, certainly it's not at airplanes. No way. No way. I don't think so. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, let's just keep adding more of these blocks in here, and we're going to adjust and change some things as we go. Like I'll probably add in a couple filters and stuff as well. So I think that's okay for right now. Let me keep adding just a couple more. Cities are generally pretty big. So let's just go with that. And then we're going to take some light sources. And we'll use white for now. I think should be okay. We're going to place one down and just kind of see how it looks real quick. Okay, it's not working very good at overlay. Let's try normal. I think that will be okay. And let's also drop that opacity down. Okay, and then drop the size down way small. Let's try that. No, it could be even more. Let's go up more. Yeah, I think that should be good. Let's go even more, just a teeny bit. And we're going to place a bunch of just lights all over the place. So just copy and paste these everywhere. We're going to have a whole bunch of lights, as you would kind of expect, right? In the city streets and stuff, you got a little bit of lights everywhere. So we're going to put a bunch of lights. And the ones that don't have lights, the farthest away from the lights, we'll drop the brightness down. So that way there's at least some fade as you're fading out away from the light sources. The blocks will get a little bit darker, So don't forget about that. And we'll change the ground texture too. Ooh, I just saw a bug. Oopsie. None of you saw that. None of you saw that. Shh. Don't say nothing. I don't want to hear it. Okay, adding some light sources there. My name is Batty. Nice. Nice one. Okay, let's keep going. I just realized I say okay a lot. I wonder if I am okay. Now I'm beginning to question myself. Okay, let's keep going. See, I did it again. Oh no. All right, we're adding a bunch of lights. Yeah, this is going to be a little time consuming, so bear with me here. Oh, see, that did that bug again. Now I'm thinking I don't want to record this. Okay, we're adding a bunch of lights, and I think adding in some clouds. So there's going to be some good choices for filters that we can pick. But overall, I'm fairly satisfied with the way that it's going. Yeah, it's okay so far. And I'll go over filters. How much time I got? 30 minutes. That's perfect. It's going to take probably 30 minutes to do the lighting and add in these last bit of light sources and go through filters and stuff. So it'll be nice. Ooh. So placing more than one light stamp at a time causes some of them to disappear. Ooh, that's a bug. Bug report. Anyone in EA here, have they seen that too? I'm just wondering if anyone's noticed repetitive placing. Oh, chat doesn't get recorded, right? Yes, chat does not get recorded. So whatever you're saying to me, it's not going to pick up that audio. So don't worry about that. But I am being picked up. I'm sorry. Okay, so it's you confirm that there is some kind of bug with placing multiple stamps. Yeah, see, I just did it again. What the heck is going on? Automatic placement. Oh, this one right here. Multiple. Okay. Oh, auto select. You mean off? Not the auto select. You mean place, right? Okay, so turn the. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Okay, got it. Perfect. Okay, I just want to make sure. Like, dude, are you sure you work here? You don't know that? Awesome. I love it. And how do you not know this, dude? Okay, and I'm just going to place. Oopsie. Is that right? I think so. I'm just going to place some extra light on top just to kind of make these pop out a bit more. I may go with 70. Go with 100%. Maybe that'll work better. Because I'm not really seeing. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Come on. There we go. There. It's just going to help to give some extra lighting. Oh, see, it's doing that thing again. You pooey pooer. Why? What a jerk. Oh my gosh. What? Okay, I'm going to have to save and do this because it's making some really weird stuff. Let's just save real quick. Feel free to chat. I'm not recording any of you guys. I mean, maybe. I'm just kidding. I'm not recording anybody. It's all good. Oh, I've scared away everybody. Aw, mission accomplished. We're done now. Bye. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's refresh the page here. I've done so many changes. It's well, like it's making me log in again. So definitely. Ooh, and an error. Ooh, just a error sandwich right now. Delicious. Okay. Oh, well, I appreciate that everyone is here. That is so nice. Okay. Do you guys see those badges? Do you guys think it would be cool to add badges? Or do you think gamifying everything is a bad idea? I will take your silence as I approve. Okay, load it up. Hopefully that error went away. That's super weird. I don't know if this bug has been oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Youch. Looks like a lot of light sources. might have popped up. Oh man, that's not good. Let's go ahead and delete all the larger ones for now. For some reason, weird. Okay, I just want to delete the really big ones because there's this error was taking place. Excuse me, super weird. Is the delete button not working? Oh my goodness. What is going on here? Delete and backspace does not work. This is just crazy. Wow. I am using the latest build for EA, so maybe that's a problem. Maybe I should just be using Inkarnate.com. Oops. Okay, so I'm just going to add all these light stamps there. It's just to give it a little extra light because it looks a little bit more realistic. I absolutely love flying at night. I love looking at all the beautiful lights when flying. It's just so nice. Light source there and one here. Okay, so that part is done. I'm going to make sure to select everything. First, let's go to pro tip about selection. I'm going to go ahead and select only groups. And that's been locked, so that's perfect. So I can't touch it. And then I can just go to all and just select every single thing here. So just group it. And we're gonna oopsie, why didn't these get selected? Oh, I see. These are like way off randomly. Gotcha, weird. Now, how did they get up there? They just magically flew over there. Oh, fascinating. Okay, so we're gonna call this the BG because it's the layer below, so that's the background. And then we're gonna select that FG, push this up this way. Okay, and the next step is to add some filters. So let me see, this is on layer 5, the FG. So let's start with one. Let's go with the ever so fantastic vignette. And that vignette is super nice. That's gonna make those edges be dark. So it looks like they're fading away. So I kind of like that. So it fades out. That looks nice. We're gonna add another filter. Sometimes when you're putting things together, it just looks really weird. See how this gray against the gold, it's just so weird. So adding like a different filter to change it up, like a warm, cool one, can really, really help. So we can boost this up quite a bit. It's gonna add a serious purple tinge, and that's okay. But it does help to make kind of these stamps kind of blend better together. So it's kind of helpful to do that. So we have this part, and then there's some other things I like to do. We could also consider adding in some like fog or clouds. So we can type in clouds, and there's like a whole bunch of options for clouds. I'm just going to go to select all. One thing I don't recommend is using clouds that have a baked-in shadow, because that baked-in shadow is going to show up. So don't use that. Just use clouds that don't have any baked-in shadow to it. So I type in cloud, and then a whole bunch of options should pop up. Let's see here. These ones, this one has a baked-in shadow. You can look at it. You'll see there's a baked-in shadow, so don't use that one. And I don't recommend using these clouds from Parchment because they have a baked-in shadow. But these clouds right here from I think it's Fantasy or Watercolor Battle Maps or Cities, I think. I can't remember. And we're going to also change completely the saturation so it's purely white, and drop the opacity. Okay, and we're going to bring it, and we're just going to place them. Let's take a look, see how it looks. I think we could maybe drop the opacity just a little bit more. And I'm going to set random stamp. Okay, perfect. And we're going to make it a little bit smaller here. And we're going to place a bunch. So some there, some over here, maybe one over here. Okay, so you have some clouds floating, some clouds as you would kind of expect. Let's make this one a little bit smaller. Sure, like this, that looks okay. All right. And I think that's it. And I would definitely group all your clouds, of course. Just shift, group, rename, of course, always clouds. And I think that's it. Let's take a look. Is there anything else that I should be adding here? If you guys know of anything else, feel free to let me know. Do you mean badge assets or badge awards. So what I had in mind was the idea that we have internal metrics like how many maps you have, how many groups are on your map, how many stamps are on a map, like object count, like all these internal metrics, right? And so one thing we could do with those internal metrics is use them as like a badge system. So if you have, let's say, 100 maps, then maybe you'll get that award and you'll get that badge, award, achievement, or whatever. It's basically gamifying. I'm sure some of you here have heard of that. But you've never heard of. Oh, you didn't know, Scattercloud, that you could rename groups? Ooh, yeah, renaming groups. Chef's kiss. It's a must. It's so much easier. Could you imagine if there was like 30 groups? No, you're not slow. Are you kidding me? Inkarnate's got like 800 bells and whistles. You're like, it's so hard. There's no way you're gonna go through all that. There's a lot of bells and whistles. So don't beat yourself up. If you want to talk about slow, you're looking at Mr. Slow over here. So don't say that. That's not nice. Trust me, you're not slow. It's just that there's so many bells and whistles. It's hard to remember where everything is. So, but I definitely recommend always grouping. Could you just imagine if in the right panel you had 30 groups and you're just like, I just want to select this one tree, but it's in a group and I don't know what group it is in. Okay, so I mean, definitely you're going to want to rename your groups. I hate scrolling through like 80 groups. So always rename it. I mean, it's okay to forget. I forget too. Like some maps I forget. I just totally space to add, to name the group. But lately I've been doing a good job. When I made those badges, I grouped them and renamed them all. So I just, give myself a little pat on the back for, doing the right thing there. Well, that's it. I mean, unless there's other things you guys think we should add to this, let me save it and then check it out in 4K in all its 4K beauty. Mwah. All right. Okay. Boom, boom. Let's open this map in 4K so I can kind of see what it looks like. Santa's sleigh. So what I was saying about the whole badges, like I said, is just that we have these internal metrics and using the internal metrics to basically decide whether people get badges or not. The only problem that I see is that so many people already have tons of maps and all these things. So I don't think awards should just magically like pop up. It should be like maybe starting from 0. And so like if you have like I have like 1,000 maps or whatever, and so I would probably get a lot of these badges and achievements right away if we just implemented them immediately. So it might make more sense to have it to where if we did add badges, it would be like on a fresh slate at 0, and so you have to make a whole new 100 maps to get like an award. So just sit on that for a minute. Tell me what you think about that. Okay, there's Mati. Do you have the sleigh above or below the cool? I think it's above. It's above. Should it be below, you think? I just put it above because I actually wanted the sleigh to have some of that cool warm effect because I wanted those stamps to kind of blend better together because I had like gray engines in the back, strange red, all these different colors. So do you think I should just move that filter below Santa's sleigh? Because I can do that. Let me know. I think it's below. Okay, I'll check it. I don't know. Let's check real quick. Yeah, Semnerod, I totally understand about it's there. Maybe I should just like boost it up more. Set it up at full percent. There you go, like that. Yeah, I understand your thinking there. Like, we don't want people to like feel like they have shame because they don't have awards or anything and achievements. The way that I kind of see it is that there's no actual benefit from the achievement. So like, let's say that you get like a bunch of achievements or something, you're not going to get like a year of free access of Pro or anything like that. If it's just pure achievement without any actual like material benefit attached to it, it's just a symbolic achievement, then I don't know if it will be that bad. But if people are like competing for like a year of free Pro access or something, I could see that as a problem. So it just kind of depends. Me personally, I like achievements, and I've never made it a game out of it myself. Like I don't try to beat other people, but everyone's different. Maybe some people are hyper competitive, and they're just like, no, no, I must get them all. I am a Pokemon trainer. I must get them all. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, the idea would be great. Maybe start with a survey. Yeah, I agree. Send them Rod. That's not a bad idea. So I that's why I put them up on our Reddit just to see what people thought. Well, overwhelming responses were positive, but there were about two or three people who were like, scratching my chin. I don't know about this one, and that's perfectly reasonable. So I think maybe we could talk with Philip. That's going to be Meow Maps, and maybe he will know. Maybe because I think he's in charge of a lot of the surveys, so I'll ask him about that. I am going to mention it too tomorrow at our art meeting, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, honestly, I don't want to see too much competition to the point of like it just gets ridiculous, because I do believe there's a healthy level of competition. Like I thought that maybe these awards would like encourage people to like, well, I want to collect all these badges, but I've never made a parchment map before. But to get this parchment badge, I need to make a parchment map. Okay, and so that way, that would maybe encourage people to work on maps they haven't worked on before, use a style that they haven't used before, these kind of things. So I mean, that would be my objective. And of course, it wouldn't be as easy as just, open up a parchment map and then save it. You're not going to get the award. Obviously, a certain number of changes, like your change log has to be at like 3,000 or 4,000. Okay. So it would be something like that. It's not easy as you think. That's why we have these internal metrics. Welcome, Matt. I'm glad to have you here. How you doing? Oh, I actually just about finished, but you can see what we made here. We kind of put a Santa's sleigh together and then kind of put a city underneath, I think. Does it kind of look like a city? What do you think, Matt? Thank you. Yeah, if there's anything else you think I should add to it, be my guest. So, I mean, technically there would be lights on almost every single building, I'm sure, but I've decided not to do that. You get the general idea. But yeah, I just wanted to get people's thoughts about badges, about achievements that don't actually have any material benefit. Like you're not gonna like get to join EA because you got all these achievements. You're not gonna get pro for a year. You're not gonna just automatically become a mentor because you got these achievements. It's purely just to kind of like stroke your own ego and to play around. 2 or more larger buildings. Can you maybe add 1 or 2 larger buildings to make the city less generic? Oh, Sam Nimrod, I like that idea. You know what would be really good is like maybe like a football field. Like isn't that Coliseum kind of a good idea? Maybe we can fit that in there somewhere. I think that might work. Let's see here. Now the problem is putting it in a proper place that you want to have it. Like we could put it up here in this corner because I don't want it to take precedence over the other stamps. So if I just like delete a bunch of this stuff together like this, we'll go ahead and put in maybe that Coliseum, and maybe it'll look like a football field. I mean, it probably isn't really going to look like a football field, but at least it'll have, the idea of it. So let's go to watercolor cities, and it's going to be a little laggy. Okay, and I think they're in here somewhere. This one right here maybe might work good. It looks more like a racetrack, but I mean, what can you do, right? All right, let's put it in like this, and we're going to want to do that saturation thing. Turn the layer off, advanced settings, saturation, and then obviously drop the brightness quite a bit. Oh, ooh, well, I don't want it to be invisible, otherwise I wouldn't put it there. Hold on a second, let me take a look. The question is like, making sure that it doesn't, you see how close it is, it's parallel to it, kind of pops out. Let me try moving it somewhere else. Would look better over here. Any suggestions? I don't want it to be so close to the sleigh that it kind of, takes emphasis away from it. That's not really the goal that I'm kind of going for. So I think over here, kind of blocked by the silhouette or the vignette filter, and then with a cloud, and that way it will kind of take some of the emphasis off of that. Maybe that will help. I also need to make sure I delete all the stamps that are kind of overlapping it. Naughty, naughty. This one needs to move a little bit more. Move that one. This one needs to go over here. And that one can just be deleted. Okay. So you have like a little bit of a stadium here. There's that. Looks nice. Let's also make sure that the brightness is right. Bring it down a little bit more. Okay. Let's take a step back and look and see what we have. Yeah, I think the stadium looks all right. That was a good suggestion, Senderon. How many changes would we need to make a map a badge theoretically so that people can't cheat? You know, that's a really good question. I don't know. That's something the team will have to discuss. I just, you know, it just can't be as easy. It can't be as easy as just, oh, look, I made a parchment map and now I'm going to get, you know, that badge or achievement. You know, like, honestly, there could be like a peer review process that could happen. I mean, honestly, that'd be crazy with all the users we have. Instead, I would just, you know, like I said, maybe make it say that you have 10,000 changes so that you've worked on it on a number of hours, or say it works by number of hours, right? Like you've worked on this map for 4 hours and then it will trigger the achievement, right? So it'd be something kind of like that would make the achievement not so easy to get, you know what I mean? So that would be my thought about it. There were some people who said they don't want to gamify, so you know, this is something that we definitely have to discuss with our community, because there's no way we're going to do something like that without at least asking our users. We're not going to be like, shove this down your throat, take it, we don't care. No. We'll have a discussion, of course. We're not evil dictators. This is not an authoritative. Okay? Yeah, I would tie in badges with creator time. Yeah, I agree with that, Matt. That's a good statement. Creator time. That way people don't cheat. So yeah, I mean, that's my thought about badges. I mean, honestly, I was hoping that they were going to encourage people to go outside of their comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like, I want that badge, but you know, I want it so bad, you know, but you know, I don't want to. Of course, you're not dictators. Maybe we are. You wouldn't know, right? We're evil dictators. Stalinists. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Matt. The creator time makes the most sense. Ooh, wow, Cheryl, really? You would go with parchment? I very rarely see you use that style. So that would be interesting. I'd love to see a map. Oh, never? Ooh, okay. Make damn badges so that I can see this, so I can see your parchment maps. Dang it. That sounds actually kind of exciting. Oh, wow. We're going to see a Mumby parchment map. Ooh, that is just titillating. I'm getting a little dizzy. I need some water now. Just thinking about that. I just spilt water all over me. Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. Yes. Now people are going to think I peed myself. Yay. Every dictator would say the same words. Yes, Mimaldoza. Mimaldoza. Oh, I love that name. Cool name. Love it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's... Anyway, those are the thoughts about the badges, and or achievements, whatever you want to call them. I don't really know. Like, achievement sounds interesting to me. So I will discuss that with the art team tomorrow. Tomorrow is the art meeting. So I'll talk to them about that. I am the Senate. I promise that after you've given me these emergency powers, I will return them to the Senate. Nope, I lied. They're mine now. All your stuff is mine now. Damn that Palpatine. Oh, man. Dropping all the memes. I love it. Jar Jar Semneron votes for you. Thank you. I will take your vote. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to save these changes. Honestly, I think this is pretty much done. There's a couple other filters you could probably add to this, but we'll just call it good for now. I'll go ahead and turn recording off too right now. So That way there won't be any more recording. So stop recording.